Hi guys, welcome to another lecture on He Wishes for the Clouds of Heaven. Now today we're going to be firstly, of course there's certain points that we may have already covered in the previous lecture that I might repeat, and we'll try to discuss some new ones. For the rhyme scheme guys, if you see, the rhyme scheme is AB, AB, B, A, B, A. So the rhyme scheme is somewhat like that. In the first stanza, you see there's a perfect rhyme, and in the second stanza also it's a perfect rhyme, right? Like the first four lines are a perfect rhyme. The last four lines are a perfect rhyme. Now, if you were to see how the poem transitions from line 4 to 5, that's BB. The rhyme scheme is BB. Now, with BB, light feet coming in together, the thing is that perhaps the poet wants a smoother transition. Because in the first stanza, when he's putting cloths and light together, then cloths are something very tangible, they're something wearable. Light is something that you can only see. Light is something that you can't touch, that you can't feel. Now, putting those two things together is like this whole concept of almost divinity, something divine that he possesses. And then that entire thing, that very divine thing, very outwardly thing, because dreams at the end of the day are also very outwardly, right? He's ready to put that in the second stanza, on the feet of his beloved. If you were to also look at the punctuation now, in the first stanza, the punctuation is not, there are no semicolons or anything like that as such. Actually, there are no semicolons at all, and no colons either. But in the second stanza, there's semicolons and colons. Now, those semicolons and colons are a very big example of the fact that the poet is very much aware of what he's putting at stake. He's very much aware of what he's putting at stake. It's not like he doesn't know that he's putting his dreams under his beloved's feet, and neither is he saying that, neither is he saying don't walk over my dreams or don't walk all over me. As I said, in the second stanza, he's just saying, walk over me, but walk over me softly. That. Because he doesn't want to restrict the beloved. He's just saying, just walk over me, but walk over me softly. So the poem also sort of reminds you of almost a divine sort of love, right? Because when we talk about Yeats and his love for Maud Yeats did everything he could for Maud Maud never agreed to marry him, but he did everything he could for Maud. He admired her to that point. I think in the first stanza I already mentioned that, in the first lecture I already mentioned that, no, not in the first lecture, but in one of the lectures I already mentioned that Maud was somebody who was very, in her head, she was very clear on things as a person. Of course, she was this Irish nationalist and all of that stuff. So she did have that flair of being almost wild energy at some points of time, but at the same time, she was really clear in terms of how she would speak, what she would speak about, the stances that she took about things. So that's why she was always very clear that Yeats is an admirer. And that also So in literature, we've always studied the concept between admiration and love, right? And also, a lot of times there are stories where people who admire each other can or may go on to fall in love with each other if they were to take that step. But sometimes it's also like some people are very clear that some people are just about really clear, like Maud Gonne was, and that's why she never accepted Yeats's proposal. Um, and so uh, now, if you were to look at this poem closely, he's probably talking about Maud Gonne only, because his first play was written for Maud Gonne. Um, he wrote the title character for Maud Gonne. Um, and beyond that also, he like everybody knew that Yeats was madly in admiration of Maud Gonne. Not just writing that title character, but there's several uh, social incidents which some of us may be aware of, some of us may not be aware of. If you're not, I'd say just maybe as a side read, go and try and read about stuff that Yeats did for Maud Gonne. Um, but at the same time, um, Maud Gonne was never really his. And so that sort of love, and in that sort of love, I guess he wrote He Wishes for the Cloths of Heaven, where he's like, if I had the heavens embroidered cloths, uh, I would have spread them under your feet, but I'm not. I'm very poor. I only have my dreams. So I'm spreading my dreams under your feet. I'm not even saying don't tread on them, because I know you would want to. Um, so just tread on them softly. That. Which also reminds me of, I don't know if I should talk about this. There's another story of such um, divine love in South Asian literature. Let's see, I'll think about it, and if I can, I will try to share it in the next lecture. But for now, focus on just the semicolons with which he's carefully considering what he's putting at stake. He's taking those long pauses because he knows that that's the only thing he has now left, and he's putting that also at her feet, and he's just saying, tread softly because you tread on my dreams. Maud Gonne never went on to marry him. Maud Gonne was not his exclusive friend or anything like that. In fact, the other people that he went on to meet in his life, who became his one became his, I think so, very good pen pal, a co-writer or whatever. So there were several others. Maud Gonne was really pragmatic as a person. It's not like she didn't like Yeats. She really appreciated him, his sentiment. She was always really respectful to him on all accounts that have been mentioned. But she just never married him. And about Maud Gonne, of course, they say that that she had this. She was, of course, not in the military or the army or anything else like that, and she would speak very collectedly, and she would count her words and all of that stuff. So she was a really well-spoken person. But they say that she would speak in a way that people would want to listen to her. People would follow what she had to say, and And Yeats, being somebody who had been close to her at one point of time in life, was just should I say charmed by her, or should I say in admiration of her, to a point where he ended up writing this poem, which is a piece to marvel at. Um, will will share certain other stuff also in the notes. I know that I'm really stammering in this lecture, because it's like I want to share certain things with regards to this poem, but then in my head I'm like, I don't know if I can share this or if I should share that. Um, I'll read this once again on your own, guys. Try to annotate your copy of the poem with whatever thoughts are coming, right? Um, for example, think on things like, why has he said embroidered cloths? Um, think on things like, why has he used the word inwrought with golden and silver light? The thing about golden and silver light, I think I already mentioned, but think on the lines, why inwrought? Why half light? Why the word spread? Think on those lines. We'll continue this discussion in the next lecture. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated for whenever I drop a new video.